is the RIOT podcast, and here we go.
Oh, guys, this is the last podcast before Thanksgiving.
Oh, and Nikki's going to take next week off.
I am. I won't be here.
If you feel like you need even more than this, remember, the RadioU Christmas channel is live right now.
You'll still hear us on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if not, maybe go back for some old podcast if you're a newer podcast listener. But enjoy those couple of days, take a break from us, and then we'll reconvene.
Yes, we will eventually be back. So let's see. Today in the podcast, what do we talk about? I don't have the list.
Oh, you don't have a list?
I don't.
Oh, gosh. Whenever you go back to think about what did we talk about?
Well, we talked about Cameo.
We did.
That's one thing that made it into the show. We also talked about these new Pop-Tarts that look unbelievable.
They're Pretzel Pop-Tarts. Spoiler.
Oh, my gosh.
Spoiler alert. We talk about the new Cybertruck.
That's right. The new Cybertruck that people have strong opinions of, which is shocking because the internet is usually so, docile.
Down the middle.
Yeah. Just, you don't see extremes there very often. We also talk about T-shirt theory, which is more important than you think. What do you do with your T-shirts?
That's a good question.
And how do you make them work? And War of the Worlds discussion and some self-reflection.
Based on that discussion.
So you guys enjoy the podcast.
Thank you so much for listening. And if we don't talk before then, which I don't think we will, have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yep. And we will, we'll be with you right now.
Okay.
It's the
Bye.
RIOT.
The RIOT. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, we've talked about this before, but we've never actually done it.
Mm-hmm.
Cameo.
Do
you remember Cameo? You will as soon as I tell you what it actually is.
Is that the one where you can pay someone to do a video for you?
Exactly that.
So, like, if someone wants a birthday greeting from a celebrity or whatever it is?
Exactly that. Like, you just go through, browse our talent, and it costs anywhere from, $60 to $150.
It varies between what we call the star level of the talent. Or there's a lot of athletes that do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just have to look at it. And I don't know. I feel like $100 for somebody to be like, hey.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst. And, man, let me tell you right now, if you want a birthday greeting for me for $100, no problem.
You could have started lower than that.
No.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, 100 sounds just about right, doesn't it?
It seems low, really.
But it's a customized video. So they're actually saying it to the person. So you'll send them some information about what you're wanting it to be for, and then they'll do it from that.
It's amazing. And you know what? I had some friends that did it yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. Well, and they're doing an event. And so they paid... what's her name? Ellen Griswold from, that's not her actual name, but Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mom from Christmas Vacation.
Why?
To promote this thing that they're doing. And so.
Even though it's not like she's promoting it, she's just saying it.
Well, yeah.
Like a welcome sort of thing?
It's just hey, everybody, just want to let you know that blank, blank, and blank is coming up this weekend.
And they paid for it?
Yeah.
How much was it?
I don't know. I think about $100.
I thought she'd be less, so I wasn't sure.
Nikki, during this season.
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. This would be the time you could make some money if you were in the Christmas Vacation movie.
Exactly. See, the Christmas movie celebrities, they got to strike while it's hot.
You're right.
And what with the Christmas channel launching and everything else, the iron is hot right now.
So were they happy with it?
I was kind of blown away by it because I was just like, man, it's really weird. The one thing about it that I do think is funny is it's obviously just her in her living room watching TV because and
her manager's like, hey, I got one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And it's the TV's on in the background, and I'm just like, yeah. It's weird. The other side of it though is it's almost like cinema verita because it's well, what would Ellen Griswold be doing on a night like tonight?
All right.
Probably watching Jeopardy. I don't know.
It's funny when you look through the site. Again, it's Cameo. It's who's this? Who's this? And then you're like, oh, okay. You kind of remember that one person.
Let's see. You can get Ernie Hudson, one of the Ghostbusters. Chris Hansen. He's that guy that did not To Catch a Predator, but he was the TV thing where it was why don't you have a seat right over there?
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
I don't want one of those.
You
got to pick the person that's right for whatever you're looking for.
Tom Arnold. Danica McKellar. You know, she's the girls can do math girl, but she also did, and the Wonder Years and Steve Gutenberg.
Great. No, stop naming such great names. Stop it.
And the thing is, like, these must be some of the really good ones because they're on the front page.
They're on the front one. There's probably a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, just remember, if you ever need a birthday or a greeting from us, right now we currently don't charge, so you're welcome to ask anytime. No, we don't need to charge. We're not doing Cameo.
We only charge $100.
You can pay us in cookies. We're that type of people.
$100. Gift cards are fine.
It's okay.
You can pay your tax bill and the Riot with iTunes gift cards.
No, it's worse. You can be the type where you're like, just pay something. We don't have to tell you what to pay. Just whatever you feel like it was worth.
Okay, I'm done. I just, what has been seen cannot be unseen.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Oh, where were we? Oh, your coach is a jerk. Have you ever been there where your coach is like, that's all right, we'll just run it out of you?
Oh, and when you found out the moment that your coach was like that and you thought this is how the whole season's going to be?
We had this field where we would do soccer practice. It was a third of a mile. And our coach was like, well, here's what we're going to do. For every unanswered goal, you'll get a third of a mile. We had a game, real talk. We got beat 14-1.
Oh, no.
So it was like you opened practice with a 1 mile run. And then it was like, and now you have 14 laps to run. Which
Keep going.
Get moving. So, and then it was like, that took.
He didn't have a cap or anything on like, well, if it was this bad of a game.
Nope. No cap. It was brand new. It was almost like he knew it was coming.
Aww.
We just ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. But in fairness, that is pretty much the game of soccer. You just run and run.
Run and run and run. He just felt like he didn't do enough in the game.
So let's talk about, Miyamura High School in Gallup, New Mexico. They had a little problem there among the high school football team. There were allegations among the team that, hey, money is missing from my wallet. And I'm just like, wow, you guys have cash? That's amazing.
What is that?
Wow. You guys must deal drugs.
I guess that's why we never carry cash. We want to be safe.
I have 3 $1 bills.
Really?
That's all.
That's a lot.
I'm rolling
What
in
are you going to do? Buy a soda today?
Probably. So they are like, hey, people are stealing my money. People are stealing my money.
Like in the locker room?
Yeah, and so it turned into a fight where like guys are screaming at each other. They're accusing each other. So the coach comes out and he's like, all right, which one of you girls stole from the other? And like nobody will come forward.
That's how he's doing that?
That's all right. I'll just run it out of you. So he kept punishing them at practice till somebody would come forward and admit that they were stealing the money.
Did someone finally come forward?
Yes, they did.
Who was
Somebody
it?
with a video camera.
Was it the coach?
It was the coach.
Oh, he was the one taking the money?
The coach was the one that was stealing the money.
And making you run? And punishing you?
He's like, you guys are going to run till somebody admits it. And it was him the whole time.
That is the worst. That's the worst.
What?
Because you don't want to think it'd be him, but it is.
Listen, I'll just tell you right now, his wife better have cancer or something where I'm saying it. Because he better be...
You mean raising money for something? Okay,
yes.
I get what you're saying there.
He better be in insanely dire straits where he's like, listen, I was stealing this money because it's hard and we needed this and whatever. And it's like...
Probably not the case, though.
You know what? It's wrong, but it's cool, coach. All right? You know what? I'll even give you some more because we love you, coach, and we're sorry to see you in this position.
That's not what it was, though, because he didn't come forward and say it when he had the opportunity. Instead, he made you run it out, and it wasn't even your fault.
And while you were running, he was stealing your money again.
That's a shame.
Incredible.
Well, at least he's been caught and they can move forward.
So what they ended up doing was they didn't catch all the incidents, but they managed to catch him stealing $40 out of a player's wallet.
So it's safe to say he's the one doing all the other ones.
More than likely.
Yeah.
So he has just been charged with larceny and non-residential burglary and placed on $2,000 bail.
Dude, I'd ask the judge.
Also, he's not the coach anymore.
I would ask the judge just to make him run, too, while he was in jail. Like, that has to be a part of his punishment.
Yes.
Every day he's got to do so many laps around the yard.
I love that. Like, you know what? We're going to run until somebody says what they've done. Right, Coach?
Because you better not be saying you're not guilty.
I love that. You're like, this is a first. Actually, he's going to jail, and he has to run a certain amount every single day.
Creative sentencing.
It needs to happen.
That'll make
And not just
a difference.
jog, sprints.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on RadioU.
You know, there's a lot of TV out there to watch, right? So I finally caught up last night and finished the first season of Jack Ryan now that the second season's out.
Are you going to actually start the second season, or are you going to wait till the third season comes out?
Well,
if there is a third season.
I don't know. I thought about maybe watching the second season. I don't know anything about it. I don't think the first season was that good.
How long was it?
How did I end up watching the whole thing? I don't know. Sometimes I just need something to watch, and I'm just like,
Your
you know what? It's
positive
on.
reviews are inspiring.
Are they? Yeah?
Like, if I was a part of the Jack Ryan team, I was like, oh, my gosh.
Well, you know what? Here,
Especially when you say, I don't know if I could watch the second one.
well, here's what I wonder, though. I'm going to dig into some reviews and see, like, did they change things up for the second season?
They said they changed him up a little bit.
The opening credits are shockingly different. Like, for as much money as they spent on that show, if you watch the first season, the credits look like something that somebody made in After Effects for like 10 cents. They went to Fiverr and they were like, we're out of money. Can you make credits for this show? And somebody's like, yeah, I got that. You know, whatever. And this now, it looks like, no, they've banked on the credits.
Spend more money.
Which sounds dumb, but like, come on, it's the first thing you see when it comes to that show. And I don't know, maybe. But I feel like with the first season of Jack Ryan, they were trying to make a well-rounded, complicated narrative. And it's not that they failed. I just didn't like it.
Sure.
And can I just say that as a whole, I feel like as a society, we should be willing to admit that we just don't like something. It doesn't have to be that it sucks. Maybe we're the problem. And see, even problem's the wrong word.
You're right.
Maybe we just don't like it, but it's okay that they made it for someone else.
That's a good call. Now, they would like you to enjoy it.
Yes, they would.
If you weren't the target that they were reaching for, I don't know what they were trying to reach then. Because you should be right smack dab on that target.
The meaty part. Like the highest point. I'm actually not in the... I'm not in the curve.
No,
I'm
you're
way out on the point there.
You're right there.
Yeah, but I don't know. So now I'm going to have to find a new show maybe. And so that's where I'm at.
If not, while you were just, finish.
What, watch Jack Ryan season 2?
Yeah, just watch the second season.
The other thing I was
when
thinking is...
When everybody else is.
Oh, yeah. It's a good idea.
Well, people are still on it, though. It's been a couple of weeks.
Well, I'm watching The Mandalorian, so there's a new episode of that today. But then the other thing I was thinking is I guess The Man in the High Castle this season ends the story. That actually makes me want to go back and watch it because most of these shows on streaming services, they get 2 seasons, they end. You never find that they never really wrap it up. But if you're telling me you have a show that has a definite end point, that's kind of interesting, right?
That could be good.
You're going to tell a story that has an ending? What?
Closure? Oh, my gosh. That would be so refreshing.
Wow. Look at you. That's amazing.
Well, that might be a good option, too.
It might be a good place to start, right? So I'll just say, if you got something, text it in, 877-2-RADIO-U.
There's some possibilities floating around. We just need to land on one.
Yeah, for sure. So let me know. Or even if you watch the second season of Jack Ryan, you're like, bro, you should watch that. You know where we are.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So the Black Friday, 1 week from today, Thanksgiving, 6 days from today. I almost said 6 weeks. That's how I got confused.
We're really off then.
It's fine. It's 6 days from today, Black Friday, 1 week from today. Nikki, is there anything that you're shopping for on Black Friday?
For Black Friday, no, and I've got most people's Christmas presents.
Have you really?
I found some good deals, and I tried to, do some shopping the last couple of weekends. So I think I'm actually pretty good. I'm still floating around with maybe a new TV one day. Mm-hmm. So if there was an amazing sale, but I'm not in a rush.
I am on the lookout for my TV to go on sale. And I will either price match or buy it.
or figure it out.
Yeah, something like that. But the other thing I'm definitely in the market for is a new pair of headphones. I don't want to be, but I'm going to have to get some new headphones.
So what are you using at the gym?
Right now, I've been using those, my big...
wired headphones?
No.
Okay.
No,
Woo! All right.
I have a pair of Sony headphones that are... over the head, over the ear, whatever. I have a hard time getting those to stay on my head.
Oh, when you're working out?
Yes. And so it's complicated. I have a huge head and et cetera, et cetera.
You're looking for a certain pair that fit the ears. You're fine.
So I think I'm going to do that. And as a result, I spent a bunch of my Black Friday money already. So if I do headphones, that's going to eat into my movie money.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's all you can do?
The other thing I'll say is there's a lot, and I mean a ton of Black Friday sales that are like today. I checked my email, went on Twitter, and it was just like, Black Friday now! Now!
Well, they're all saying you can go ahead and shop anytime you want to. I think they're trying to get an extra weekend out of it.
Oh, they're trying to get an extra weekend out of it. So,
and yes, I know. It's a dry cough, isn't it?
I'm doing fine.
It's a dry one.
You know what?
Your body heard that we're shopping for headphones.
You know what? I walked out of the studio after talking about the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and I was like, bro, you need to give people your best. You need to push a little harder. You need to get focused.
Commit to the show this morning, all right? Give it 100%.
So I come in here and can't remember the difference between weeks and days, and I can't stop coughing.
Well, it's wonderful, isn't it? Is this the best that we're doing today? And if it is, then that's perfectly fine. We just want to all match to that level. We want to know where we're going to.
I just want you guys to know if you don't like it, I am trying. So,
don't say that. That's worse.
I just want you to know.
Make it seem like you're not. Just tell them you're not trying.
I'm not even trying.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, how are Cinnamon and Sugar doing?
My puppies are doing good.
After they ate your plant the other day, are their tummies doing okay?
It was my fault for having a peace lily, and it was my fault to put it in the living room.
It was my bad for wanting nice things.
And I understand that it was all my issue and not them.
Come on.
And I have moved the peace lily because there's only one left because the other one died. And it's now up on the steps so they can't reach it.
Well, you're learning.
Yeah.
You're learning, Nikki.
When you come home and you see that and they're just like plant pieces everywhere and you're just like, okay, that was my bad. That was my bad.
That's on me.
That is on me, and I'm sorry. I'll clean it up.
I should have rearranged my life to better fit your needs.
When I saw the mess, though, there's this old video of this guy who came home and, his dogs went through the trash. I think it's like an outdoor trash can.
Yeah.
And so it's him holding his puppy's paws, literally picking up the trash and making the dog throw it away. It's the best thing ever. And I thought of that when I saw the mess, because I was like, if only I could be there to make my dogs clean up their own mess.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't. It's fine.
Well, Sydney yesterday posted something on RadioU's Facebook page about dog years.
Yeah.
They always say a dog year is a
7 years, isn't it?
Is 7 dog years, right? But man, this is fascinating. So the scientists have been working on aging and kind of determining if you've ever heard the term biological age. What's your biological age? They say a lot of it has to do with methylation in your DNA. And you're like, I don't know what that is. We don't really know either. But they did a lot of studying and blah, blah, blah. And so they say they can look at methylation in your DNA and they can, kind of assign a biological age to you versus your chronological age. And they can also potentially predict a lifespan from you.
How long you might live?
Yes.
For the dogs, for pets?
They're saying with people, but they've been applying this to animals because what they found is that the methylation rate is kind of... Basically, they're able to compare human standards to dog standards and come up with something. And here I have a brand new dog age calculator. Now, this is very specific for, let's see, what kind of a...
like their breed?
Yeah, for the Golden Labrador,
mine's a Golden Pyrenees, but
so it's not going to be the same.
We'll take any Golden. It's within the same family.
So you have to at least... Oh, gosh.
How many years are they going to live and eat my plants?
You have to have a value that's greater than 1. So let's say that your dogs are a year old. Are they a year old?
No, they're like 6 months old.
Okay. Well, according to this, a 1-year-old dog is about 31 years old as a person.
What's way older than they say? They always say it's 7 years.
But keep in mind that it's not the age rate is not constant. So
they are not acting 31 years old.
Okay. But let's cut it in half. Are they acting like they're 15?
Yeah, they're acting like... Well, no, they're acting even younger than that.
Okay. But I think what happens is I think they age rapidly through the first year because at year 1, it says that they're 31. But at year 2, it says they're 42.
Oh, all right. So it was mostly done in the beginning.
At year 3, they're like 48. At year 4, they're like 53. So, they're aging into. Yeah. And then at age 5, it's like they're 56. At age 6, it's like they're 59. Let's see. At age 7, it's like they're 62. And then at 8, it's like they're 64. So, like, they age super fast in that first year, even 2 years. And then it kind of slows down. And they have a mature adulthood. And then...
I feel like this is also to get you to buy senior food or something. Like, is this a trick?
As far as
Is it a trap?
No.
You sure?
As far as I know,
is it brought to you by a new elderly dog food?
So
for when my dogs hit amazingly 8 when they start eating it?
I believe they're actually part of a nonprofit called the Dog Aging Project. It's funded by the University of Washington and Texas A&M. But then again, you have to ask yourself,
who's funding
them? Follow the money.
Follow the dog food, Obi.
Follow the trail of dog paws.
Yes, you'll know where it goes.
We'll go through the trash together.
Aw, so all right, well, that's interesting.
Nikki, what I'm saying is that you can hang out for 6 more months. Your dogs will be in their 40s.
Will slow down.
Or in their 30s, and they'll be ready to move out and get a family of their own.
It's like sharks with blood and stuff. Like they've tasted plants, and this is going to be their thing their entire lives. I know it is.
I still say it's your fault for eating salad in front of them.
No, I just wanted to have some plants, some succulents, some anythings, and I can't.
And so did they.
And yeah, you're right. They just wanted to eat them.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So yesterday, sometime in the afternoon, I don't know, Elon Musk, he's the head of Tesla and a bunch of other stuff. He's one of the people that's out there trying to make sure that Nikki can die in space. But in the meantime...
And maybe not quite an attractive truck.
In the meantime, they unveiled their truck.
Eric wants it.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, that's totally made for,
I'll tell you what it looks like. You're not going to know, but if you've ever played Mass Effect Andromeda or some of those like future space-looking games, it looks like if it was 1985 and you were like, we're making a movie about space and we need a car for Space Car.
It looks like what they would pick.
This looks like Space Car. The other thing that's so great is they say the windows are shatterproof. So the guy turns around and just kind of lobs a ball at the window and it shatters.
Well, it's a metal ball and he was so close. And then they said, well, it didn't break through, but it did shatter the glass.
Don't say shatterproof and then have it shatter. Okay.
It didn't go through. That's all they kept saying.
I know. And Musk's response is under his breath saying something that it's like, yep. Mm-hmm.
That's about right?
That feels right. That feels right.
It is an interesting looking car.
It will not break. It broke.
Well, no, it just layers
just
broke.
Layers, Nikki.
Layers broke, but it didn't break through.
Layers. So it's
so
no
that's a no for you on the Cybertruck?
Okay, to be clear, if you just offered it to me, the answer is yes, I'll take it, sure.
Everybody would stare.
I know, and they would be like, look at him, he must be from the future.
He's driving a Cybertruck.
He's from the future.
Eric also likes, like Jeep came out with trucks. And I don't
think I've actually seen those.
I don't think that I like the look of them, but they're hugely popular with a particular crowd who just likes them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a waiting list, and it's like, so I imagine there's a crowd for this, and they're going to love it.
I love the idea of you and Eric pulling up in the Cybertruck, and you're
couldn't ride it.
You're like park way out.
We're talking
way farther out.
No, I don't even need a ride. That's what we're talking about.
And of course, it sounds like an electric car, so it shows up as like.
It's so quiet. You could hear everybody just being disappointed in you with it.
No, they would think you're from the future.
Yeah,
it looks like a combination between the Star Car from the last Starfighter and maybe the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
I can see the coloring and the paneling makes me think that.
But then also something that I drew in probably third grade.
So the electric pickup truck will be in production in 21. And was it like under 40,000 or around that?
Starting price is $39,900, but with the starting price like that, my guess is it probably doesn't come with any wheels.
Yeah, you have to add, everything's an add-on, so I'm sure it'll get way higher than that.
They're like, hey guys, don't you want a wheel? You gotta have 4 of them.
We'll add that onto the price then. So that was it, the Los Angeles Auto Show,
dude,
and they showed it off yesterday.
Man, Twitter did a great job with
making fun of it.
Yeah, some of the stuff that people tweeted about it is so good. It's so good, and it was at least trending for a little while yesterday at hashtag Tesla truck. It's worth looking at.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Pop-Tarts has done it again.
This actually looks pretty good.
It really does.
So it's going off of sweet and salty. So Pop-Tarts, normal Pop-Tarts with icing, some sort of fruit filling, that sort of stuff. But now they're doing Pop-Tarts Pretzels. So the body of the Pop-Tart will be pretzel tasting, and they'll have 2 flavors, cinnamon and sugar or a chocolate one.
Sorry, cinnamon and sugar?
That's my
sounds
dog's
familiar.
names. They'll be paying me money for the rights on that. So I get pretzel money.
The whole reason they put pretzel on it is so they wouldn't have to.
Yes.
They're like, no. This is cinnamon sugar pretzel, not a cinnamon sugar Pop-Tart.
It's not my dog's, but also a chocolate pretzel flavor, and they look amazing.
They do. Man, have you ever had a pretzel bun? If you haven't, you're still dead, and it's time to come alive.
Imagine a warm pretzel bun with like Nutella, just chocolate drizzled, hazelnut stuff all over it. It'd be like this.
Cinnamon sugar. To me, cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts are...
I've ruined it, haven't I?
You kind of have. I used to think of them as being like the generic, almost a vanilla.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that they're delicious.
It's a classic, isn't it? It's a classic.
That's the word.
Yes.
They're a classic.
And sometimes we get swayed by the other interesting flavors that Pop-Tarts can come up with.
True.
So these will come out in January.
Man, they look good, dude. I realize we do a lot of taste tests in here.
And we poo-poo some items. We don't always like them.
We do, but I feel like these need to go to the front of the line no matter what.
I actually feel that they have to be pretty good. If not, they really made a mistake. Like I don't know how you can mess it up.
How did you guys screw up chocolate pretzel?
How could you mess that up?
All right, and don't you love a good hot pretzel? And this is a hot pretzel that's going to have chocolate in it. See,
Yeah.
I love hot pretzels, and I love chocolate-covered pretzels. Come on.
You're putting them together.
On.
That'll be in January from Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, now let's see. Is there anything like, well, it's only available at this?
No, they just said that they'll be released. I don't think anything like any store. I think it'll be everywhere.
I'll tell you this, Nikki. January 1st. I'm standing outside of the store waiting for them to open.
But with a lot of January items, we probably should start seeing it somewhere in December.
Keep your eyes open.
So if everybody keeps their eyes open, let us know for the Pretzel Pop-Tarts.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, Nikki, today's the day.
Today's the day what?
Frozen 2 is hitting theaters.
It is.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I find myself wondering. I am sure that it's going to make plenty of money.
Yeah, of course.
But is it going to make money?
Like
is it going to be
money?
One of those? Yeah. Is it going to make Frozen money? Is it going to be $1 billion success?
I don't know. It's been a while since the first one.
6 years.
It's been a while.
That's something I was thinking. If you saw Frozen when you were 7, you are now 13. If you saw Frozen when you were 16, you're now 23.
Mm-hmm.
So does Frozen capture our imaginations again? Or does it become the Cars 2 of the
of the animated
Frozen
world?
franchise?
The negative for me.
The negative
was they just said it was kind of long and boring. And if you tell me that about a movie, I really don't want to. I don't want to go see it in theaters at that point. I don't mind maybe seeing it at home, but I don't want to go to a long, boring movie.
It's long and boring. No, Nikki, I don't want to see the long and boring movie. And I don't want to
go see a movie where they're talking like at me instead of like to me. So as long as it doesn't check any of those off, maybe I'll see it.
I do feel like a lot of the conversation around it has been very, like this is the movie that's going to teach the this and the that.
I'm not at a teachable moment right now, so I don't want to be bored in thought.
Come on.
But outside of that, they say it looks good, so that's something.
So let's see. Paul says Frozen 2 is not a slam dunk.
Is that a review?
That's a review. Let's see. Kristen from the Washington Post says Frozen 2 starts off on shaky ground, largely because it backtracks on much of the character development Anna and Elsa went through in the first movie.
Okay.
It's 1 hour and 43 minutes.
But I also can't tell you, is there any other movie that sounds better this weekend? That might be to its advantage.
No, what's the other thing? Is there like
feel
another
like
big movie that's out today?
Is there? Can you name it? Shouldn't we be able to remember it?
No, I can't. I don't know what the other thing is. Let's see. What's on Rotten Tomatoes? No. This is going to be the weekend for my women's empowerment group. We're all going to see Charlie's Angels.
That was last weekend, and they also said that was long and boring, too.
I missed it!
Mr. Rogers is out this weekend.
There it is.
That's what I'd rather go see.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
That could be long and boring. I expect that one to be.
Oh, wait, this says Frozen 2 came out 2 days ago. Is that right? Did it come out on Wednesday?
No, I mean, they always start their pre-release stuff, so like you could go see it, but it's official as today.
Let's see, is there anything else? No, that's all you got for this weekend. That and something called Dark Waters. Don't know what it is.
So Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood it is. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Are you going to go?
I would like to. Will I have time? I don't know, but I would like to go see it. I'm not in next week. I'll be in.
That's right. Nikki's portraying us next week.
I'll be not available for the show next week, so maybe I'll do that during one of my days off.
I'm kind of interested in Knives Out. That's the one that's like the murder mystery that looks kind of kitschy.
Sure. I still want to see the Ford and Ferrari one. Also
is something interesting. But I heard it was long and boring, like Frozen 2.
Yeah, but that's car stuff.
Oh, no. You know what? As someone that's not personally interested in Frozen 2, I really want to see how it does. I want to see if it manages to connect with that audience again. And on Monday, I'll be in here by myself. But we'll call Nikki.
Will you text me?
We'll call Nikki at about 6:05 a.m. to let her know how Frozen does.
Please do that.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
So next week is going to be Worst of the Riot. I'm going to be in hosting it. And then next Friday, Nikki and I will be back doing an all-Christmas show for Black Friday.
We always do that on Black Friday.
So all Christmas music.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to join us and just make a reminder so that you can listen that morning.
And, of course, the Christmas channel is live now. And if you're traveling, remember, you can take us and the Christmas channel with you. You just download the RadioU app. You've got access to it all the time.
Will you make sure to introduce us to your family?
Please do.
Okay, while you're home.
I feel like it's the perfect metaphor for the relationship that you can have with God. It comes with you. Listen, you got to go home and see family this week, or you have to travel home, and maybe you're going to see some people you don't want to see going into Thanksgiving. The holidays can be like that. Even if it's just, it's awkward, or two, what if they abused you? What if they were mean to you? What if you're going home, but it's just not good.
And you're getting so upset as you lead up to when you have to go because of having to go back and seeing all that.
I just want you to know that you don't have to go by yourself. I want you to know God will go with you. Now, the other side is that there are people that genuinely enjoy being with family during the holidays. Do you know that God goes along with that as well? Or maybe you're like me and you're just like, I'm good. I'm just looking for turkey. You're somewhere in between. I want you to know that God is not... No matter where you're at or what you're doing, God's not walking out on you. God is going to be with you all the time. Best day, worst day, or, the millions of days in between. And you don't have to go home alone. You can take God with you. Jesus will be with you all the time, no matter what. So if you want to start a relationship with God, know this, that he's going with you everywhere you go. And that even includes tough moments and tough places, and good ones too. Right now, you can just say, Jesus, I need that. Man, I need a friend. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to go with me this week. I do. I want you to be with me, and I want you to help me with what I've got to do. And man, it's that simple. And sometimes what I'm doing is sometimes I'll literally just reach out my hand like, hey, God, will you go with me to this thing? And man, he's coming. So whatever it is that you're up against this week, good or bad, you are not going to face it by yourself.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, would you be interested in chocolate for Christmas?
Chocolate? Normally, like you get a little chocolate Santa or something in the stocking.
Now, you said little, but I'm talking about I would like to give you a lot of chocolate.
Well, how much do we get?
Well, how many pounds would you like?
Oh, God.
And that's not how many pounds are you going to gain. It's how many pounds of actual chocolate.
It doesn't equal?
Yeah.
I don't know. Or we're supposed to not be having chocolate. Is there like cauliflower chocolate?
Are we supposed to not have chocolate?
Well, you're supposed to have like a dark chocolate, which I don't really care for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I really like dark chocolate.
I do not. I'd rather not have anything at all.
Oh, I do.
And I'm that passionate about it.
Keep your stupid dark chocolate.
Because I don't want it.
You can't pour some milk in it. I hate you.
Don't try to make us feel better like we can still have chocolate by taking all the good stuff out of it.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't share your passion for this particular item.
Sure.
But I understand.
But what could I get if I did want chocolate? What could I get?
How about just some bulk chocolate treats?
Ooh.
In Austria, there's a guy
I love Austria chocolate treats.
Oh, it's Austrian chocolate, Nikki. It's from Milka.
Yeah. Oh, I know Milka.
Okay. They had a little problem at the factory the other day. And that was that, I love this, guy came in and he just hopped in a truck and drove off. And stopped him in the gate like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, no, I'm from such and such company. This is our chocolate. I'm here to pick it up. And they're like, okay, go ahead.
Come on in.
And after a while, the real guy showed up like, hey, I'm here for the chocolate. And they're like, you were just here. Oh, no.
It's like a movie.
It's totally like a movie. And that is exactly what happened. This guy stole 50,000 euros worth of chocolate, which is a truckload of chocolate. And he just drove off with it.
What type was it? Does it not say?
It just says Milka chocolate. So is that milk chocolate?
I know it's a company. It'd be like Hershey's.
I don't know what, whatever. So apparently he had falsified documents to show he was the driver. So it wasn't as simple as him just walking in and acting like it.
He really knew what he was trying to accomplish?
It was a chocolate heist.
Ooh, so he's going to resell it, or what's he going to do? I mean, I know I'm not supposed to take chocolate from a van, so I'm not going to be falling for that.
Come on, buy the white van and buy some chocolate.
Well, wait, how good of a deal is it? I'm a grown-up, so...
So it's okay for me.
No, I think I maybe can.
Kids, you don't get in the free candy van, but you know what? Aunt Nikki can get in there. She ain't scared of it.
You don't go into the van.
Aunt Nikki's got a gun in her purse,
No,
kids.
I will just be to the
and
side.
And a knife in her boot. So I'm not worried about it.
Hey, I do have mace, so that'll take care of it, right?
Sure.
And a little taser. I got a little taser.
Shut up. Nikki goes into the chocolate deal with her mace and taser out, like, just so you know.
You're right.
If you mess with me, I'm going to mess with you.
You get both.
Oh, okay. So
I'll be fine.
I don't know what they're going to do with it. They're looking for it, obviously, but $55,000, again, to me, it's not enough. Because, one, it's going to be hard to move the chocolate, even around the holidays.
What if he doesn't want to move it?
What, he just wants to eat it?
Don't shame, but what if?
Okay. You know what? Actually,
we all have our addictions.
That makes way more sense than doing this for money.
What if he just wanted to see if he could? It's like a prank thing.
If you have a friend that lives in Austria or the Czech Republic, and all of a sudden they start sending you chocolate for Christmas, I want you to know they may have stolen that chocolate.
They're trying to move it somehow.
So just to be aware of it. And strangely enough, I do have friends that live in the Czech Republic, and if they told me they stole a chocolate truck, I would totally believe them.
It.
Like, well, yes, of course you did.
Did they steal it, or was it like a challenge, or what type of thing was it?
Exactly. They would have just been like, well, I didn't mean it if I totally stole it. You want some chocolate?
Or just see it if I could.
Yeah, and it worked. Yeah, we just abandoned it, but we took a couple boxes.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I think I might be ready, Nikki,
For what?
I think I might be ready to finally watch X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Was that the one out this year?
It's the one that everyone went on and on about how bad it was.
Was that the one they put off for years?
No. That they still. You're thinking of New Mutants. They still haven't released that
one.
Like, we don't know when or if we'll ever see that movie. But this X-Men Dark Phoenix was basically like, hey, Disney's buying us. This is the end. We got to do something. And
that was the last hurrah?
Yeah, and it came out, like a week or however long after Avengers Endgame, and you were just like, why even bother? Like, nobody wants to see this. Nobody cares. And that's the way the reviews were. They were like, do you like watching hot trash? Then come and cool off this summer in this hot trash explosion. It smells so good.
Oh, it's so wonderful in here. Come sit in the trash.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where people were just so mean to it that I didn't have any enthusiasm for it. But sometimes a good review can like give you a shove.
Yeah.
You're on the fence, some good buzz, some whatever. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go see this movie. I'm going to give it a chance. And everything was so bad. I was like, you know what? $5 Tuesday seems a little extreme.
But there's a difference between in theaters hot garbage than still garbage, but it's cooled off. You're not expecting anything. It's going to, maybe if it's free. Is it free anywhere yet?
No, not yet.
Is it 99 cents?
Well, here's what I was thinking.
Does someone have it you can borrow?
I was thinking maybe, next week, it's Thanksgiving weekend, so you have a little extra time, and we, maybe find ourselves at the Red Box.
Something like that.
Something like
that. Might not even be there.
You find... What, you mean so many people have rented it?
No, it might have fell out and no one even just put it back in.
Hey, it's been on the ground here. Nobody wants to put it back in because nobody cares.
I think it's free.
You just take it. You don't have to bring it back. Whatever.
What a nice thing that would be.
So that's what I was thinking.
What you
maybe.
Planning? Do you go into Thanksgiving like with a list of movies you want to catch up on, or?
Well, okay. Here's what I've found, and this is why it's bad for X-Men Dark Phoenix. When I know that I have some time off coming up, I have a tendency to think of all the things I want to do. So I'll buy 10 movies and rent 3 video games and all this stuff, more than I could ever remotely enjoy or care about.
So then what happens when it comes time to you actually having the time to do it?
I don't want to do any of it.
And then you don't do any of it at all.
This is dumb. I never have any free time. Now I have to watch all these movies I buy.
You made it work.
I totally did. I don't have a name here, but I got a text that says, I like the X-Men, but I'm a fan of all types of comic book movies, but especially X-Men.
So maybe you'd be a little bit more forgiving.
Hey, listen, I got X-Men in my blood, dude. I've read so many X-Men comics over and over again for so many years, and yet I'm tired of them telling the Dark Phoenix story over and over again. Like, what about the Brood, guys?
Well, why don't you see next week? See how your week goes, okay?
And Nikki, the thing is, you're not going to be here to talk me off the fence.
I won't be here to guide you next week.
Who knows what could happen?
You guys are going to have to be in my place and help him.
You have to help.
If you start getting worried, just text me. I'll still see the text messages.
Yeah, that's 877-2 RadioU.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki and I are both putting up our Christmas tree this weekend. What if we could buy for ourselves a pre-decorated tree?
You can do that.
But it was a themed tree.
You can also do that. This is kind of like, what's the word when they shape the trees? A topiary?
Okay, sure.
It's kind of like that. It's a shaped Christmas tree.
There's a guy in New Zealand, and he's selling it. He's got a tree that he calls Treezilla, and it is a Godzilla-inspired tree that breathes smoke. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Something, isn't it?
It is.
I don't know if amazing is the word.
Careful, Nikki.
But it's Treezilla.
Careful. Yeah, so this guy back in 2012 started having a little competition with his neighbor about who could have the coolest tree. And
is it cool? Oh, yeah, we like Godzilla. That's right.
You guys can't see the look I had just had to give
that was
Nikki.
Wrong. It is really cool.
Well, I mean, what would you have done?
I mean, I want a Christmas tree that breathes out smoke.
It's a Hallmark-themed tree. The people fall in love with each other.
Is that so bad?
Yeah, it is. You know, the thing about Godzilla is it's original, it's unique. You see a Godzilla movie, you're like, is he going to smash the city or not? Is he good this time or not? The Hallmark movie, they're like, will they get together or... Okay, yeah, they will. That's it. See? The unpredictability is just crazy.
So he has done other trees in the past, like you mentioned, including one which was a time portal one. So half of it went down out the floor, and then he put the other half on the top of the ceiling to make it look like it was in between time portals.
So, like, think about Portal, the video game. Yeah. It was like that. I mean, he did it with red and green instead, but it's pretty dang cool, man.
I think, you know what's exciting? This guy has something he likes to do. That's exciting.
Hey,
he has a hobby.
And don't underestimate the power of a hobby.
Hobby is nice.
Not everybody has one, and a lot of you could use one.
So Treezilla was created. Oh, Treezilla looks like, was it last year's? Has he shown then what this year is?
I don't know what this year's is. Treezilla is last year's, and he's selling it. And so the idea is that the money that he'll make from Treezilla, he's going to do two things with it. He's going to pay off what his next tree will be, and then the rest of the proceeds go to a charity there in New Zealand.
Gotcha. That's cool.
It is. And some of his trees are original. You said the Pac-Man tree, right?
No, that's another one.
Okay. He did a Pac-Man tree that it's awesome, dude. Like, not everyone's going to think it's awesome. I thought it was, but whatever, right?
So if you're interested, I think the auction closes on the 27th.
Yeah. So that's plenty of time for me to not put up a tree this weekend, and I'll just tell people, like,
in hopes.
Yeah, it's because I'm getting the Godzilla tree.
I'm going to buy that. I'm going to be the top bidder, have it shipped over to me, and then put it up.
Yeah, then I'll get right on that.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
So in the UK right now, they've got a brand new War of the Worlds TV show that is, man, is it already like all of it
I think
aired?
It's been airing, or if not, it's done.
Nikki, where were you on that? I need your help.
I just read it a few days ago, and they were just saying how people weren't really a fan of it.
Really? Why not? What did they like about it?
I didn't even click past that. That's all I needed to hear.
Oh, it's gonna be 8 episodes, so it's not done yet. Is it gonna air in the United States, Nikki? I'm gonna need some help here.
I can't tell you any more than that. I do not know.
In the United States, I thought it looked interesting because it's a straight up like take on the book. Mm-hmm. Because Nikki and I saw the Tom Cruise movie where they're like,
the noise.
It scared me.
It did, and I never thought things could be under the ground. I never thought of that.
It scared me.
It was very intense because what it could have been, and I'm sure we would have been tasty. Just don't want to think about it.
So is this the same versus Aftermath? Why are they in an elevator?
Well, there's elevators at the end of the world, too.
This is supposed to happen in like 1890 something, right?
I don't know. You need to learn more about it.
Yeah, I got to find some more about it. I did read the book like a year or two ago, and all right, you know what? It's getting nerdy. I'm sorry. It's happening again. Instead of thinking about what you guys want to hear, I'm telling you what I want to talk about.
And you're trying to learn about it while you're telling them about it.
Well, I've seen, if you go back and watch there's a bunch of War of the Worlds stuff out there. There is a 1950s movie that if you like older science fiction, it's very well done.
Yeah.
And there's a very iconic spaceship in that you might even recognize if you saw it. Then there's also, in the 70s, they did an audio-only rock opera that is available, you can probably find it streaming somewhere, but it tells the story of the book, and it's done in this kind of rock style. And it is weirdly fascinating because I had never heard of it. I actually think it was one of you guys that recommended it to me. And then they did a couple of follow-up things here and there. They did the Spielberg movie back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And now they have this adaptation.
So they're saying this is the first British television adaptation of War of the Worlds, and
they're good, Nikki. They're really good at Victorian era drama.
Nope,
that's what they do.
Yeah, I know. They can make mistakes.
They have all the costumes and all the setting, so it's a lot cheaper. That's why.
Actually, that's true.
That's why if you go back and watch original Doctor Who, they're like, and we're back in the 1800s.
The costume department thanks them for that
because we have lots of these.
It premiered on November 17th, and I think it's a 3-part.
So then I must be looking at a different one that says it's 8 episodes, huh?
I don't know if that's the BBC or the British one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to dig into that. But I think that might be good, except no one likes it.
No, we're all... Do you hear the room go quiet a little bit?
It's fine.
Not just this room, but the listening room.
The other thing, do you guys notice that it takes me 60 seconds to figure out nobody cares? Have you guys noticed that too?
We're still supportive. We just don't care.
No, it takes 60 seconds. Then all of a sudden, it's almost like I can feel you guys tuning out. Like, there's part of me like...
And it hurts.
What? No. It's just that once I get started, all of a sudden I'm like, you should say these out loud before we go on the air. And then you'll realize...
You want to run it by me ahead of time?
Other people don't care about this. You know what? It's fine. It's been a long week. It's almost the weekend. Just humor me. Nick, I'll find some food news. I'll be back.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm sure some of you have real jobs, even real part-time jobs, but I don't. I just dress how I want. And
you do what you want.
I do what I want. As a result, when people ask me, like, hey, have you begun I can remember them telling us this, like, when you're budgeting, you want to make sure you save a certain amount of money for developing your professional wardrobe, because people will only take you seriously, if you're dressed professionally.
Dressed for success, yeah.
And you know what? That's fantastic. So I've gone into radio and we wear T-shirts all the time.
But they don't know that. They could think that we wear professional wear like every day.
Nikki, I'll just tell you right now, that jacket and blouse combo, unbelievable.
You guys think we're wearing blazers or something.
It's stylish but fashionable.
Thank you so much.
And it's got a flirty angle, but it's sensible.
It's still good for workwear, right? But it shows I have fun.
Right, exactly. And that's what you want to communicate. Like, I'm fun, but I'm fun in a business
responsible.
way. Right,
I'm responsible fun.
That's exactly what you're looking for, right? Right? Okay. Nikki, do you hang your T-shirts up?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I hang them up in my closet.
All right.
On these stupid velvet hangers that I bought 2 boxes of.
I hate those things.
Before I realized I can't get my T-shirts
off of the hanger.
Or off the hangers. Yep. Especially I hang my T-shirts to dry. I don't like dry them in the dryer. And it's just the worst. But I already bought them and opened them, so I couldn't return them.
I'll tell you right now, I bought these really fat hangers, and I think they might even be called that, but like they're plastic. But imagine like those plastic hangers, but 3 times as thick. I found those to be pretty great.
Well, anything's better than what I've bought. But I do hang them up.
Velvet ones are not good. Okay. Well, I've been thinking about moving to a stacking system where I fold it in such a way that I can see what's on the shirt, but I don't have to hang it. And here's why.
Why don't you want to hang it?
Well, because I feel like the necks on my shirt are getting weirdly stretched out. Now, it could be because of my huge head. So, like,
it could just be your neck.
When I'm putting it on, it's like, oh my gosh. It's impossible. It can't go back.
Are you wanting to blame the hanger first?
Does that seem unreasonable? That
no.
It hangs there and eventually it gets like weirdly...
I think over time, the neck part breaks anyways.
Can somebody get that figured out?
Well, I don't think they expect people to wear the shirts quite as long as we do.
Or as often.
We're into classic shirts.
You know what, that could be... That actually could be the problem.
Pretty much.
That actually could be the problem. So, are you doing what I think you're doing over there? Just type in The King.
The King, okay.
And that'll help you find it. We're working on putting in a little Christmas song in here because the RadioU Christmas channel launched today. And you can listen to it on the RadioU app. You can watch the Yule log on our Roku channel. And you can also listen just at RadioU.com.
So I'm sorry, back to your T-shirts. So you're going to actually just fold them and put them somewhere?
Well, I was thinking about it. It probably won't matter. And I'll put the shirt on and be like, oh, the neck is stretched out for a different reason.
No, then it'll be like the body part or something just from folding it.
Dang it.
What should you do? I don't know.
I don't have an answer. But you know what? I got 3 new T-shirts yesterday. I was so excited. And then I was like,
when you don't want to ruin them anyway.
I want to keep them nice.
Well, try folding those, and then you'll see if the neck lasts longer. Yeah. Hey, these are real problems.
Real problems faced by...
to let your T-shirts stay longer in better shape.
Yeah, maybe that could be our new blog idea. That's our angle, Nikki. We've got a whole YouTube channel that's all about T-shirt preservation.
Because that's our professional workwear, and we got to make it.
That's why I'll never get another job, because I don't have the clothes.
Like, look, I'm wearing a hoodie today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is these little holes at the bottom of the hoodie? Like, how can we make our clothing last longer?
I just thought those were cigarette burns.
They're not, but don't they look like it?
They actually do, but I know they're not.
It looks like I put it in my pocket. I don't don't know what it is.
I also sometimes I'll get a hole like that in a.
Do
you think it's from you? Do you put your hands in the hoodie pocket there?
No, not too much. Maybe my doggy was just like, oh, what's in there? Burr, burr, burr.
Don't you? Well, you don't have any on now, but you wear rings sometimes, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Do you think maybe it's your ring? Like you stick it in the pocket, it tears at the fabric?
No, because it's only on the outside. It's not on the inside. It's not in the thing.
So it hasn't gone all the way through.
We need to work on our clothes, so we want to make sure they stay as long as possible.
Well, I'll just tell you, say what you want, but that blazer's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, wait, I'm wearing a blazer, not a hoodie.
She's got a blazer with an ascot, which feels like a throwback, but it's totally working.
Do you like my hat?
I don't necessarily care for hats very much, but I feel like you're really pulling it off.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
I know if you guys are like us, we have all been so excited about the upcoming Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year Awards.
Every year!
Oh my gosh.
What word will they pick?
It's a star-studded gala event.
There's red carpets.
People from all over, the paparazzi popping photos.
The scandals that come out of the event. The cheating scandals, the doping.
Much. People that are trying to pump up their words. Mm-hmm. Just putting random Google pages out there trying to make it happen.
The lies.
So many lies.
But we still tune in because you still care.
But the Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year Award has been awarded. Are you ready, Nikki?
But it's not the end of the year. What if something changes?
Well, they say there's just no way you could beat it now.
What's the word?
Climate emergency.
That's the word?
Well, it's a phrase.
The phrase of 2019.
But they're calling it Word of the Year, climate emergency. Yeah. 2017. I did not hear this one. The Word of the Year was youthquake.
Youthquake? When did people use that word?
Did we miss that?
I don't know. We're just on the right circles.
What were we doing in 2017?
Well, not youthquaking. We also don't really do the climate emergency word.
No, not really. But what about,
what was
2018 was toxic. I get that.
That could work.
Yeah, I absolutely get, because it's toxic this, toxic that, toxic relationship, toxic workplace, toxic.
Like some of the words are too, like I'm looking for more of like the trendy words, the ones where really you're embarrassed that you said it so much during the year, but you can't help yourself.
It just came out.
It just came out.
Didn't you say climate emergency a lot?
I did not. That's why.
So
thinking that's it.
They say that the words surrounding climate are starting to lean towards an urgency, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, and my thing is like I think they said like we're already past the point of no return. So
why not award it to some other word that needs it?
Oh, I was going to say, why don't we just burn all this styrofoam? But sure, we can give it to another word.
You do like to say that. Obi trolls, and when he does, it's just like the one day on Earth Day you took picture with styrofoam. It's like, what are you? And he doesn't hate the Earth. He cares. He does.
He
uses a Yeti, a reusable cup in the morning, but he just has to go and troll, doesn't he?
That Earth Day one was the best. Eric and I just happened to have styrofoam cups.
Well, we ate food cheap and it Chinese. Came in that.
Yeah, so it was perfect.
Not everybody got it, but it was there. All right, so that's the word of 2019 for the Oxford event.
Climate emergency. Just keep in mind, it's an emergency. So
gotta include that.
Yeah. So, man, what an event that was. Didn't you have a good time?
What a great year.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to see.
Every year. Now it's time to put the fancy clothes away.
Yeah.
Start working on our next year's words.
We only get them out for the Oxford event.
That's it.
The only time you'll see us dressed like this.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
It's got a flirty angle, but it's sensible.